Well, we have a lot to do for carpentry work in the house and woodworking stuff. We have a lot of that to do over the next couple of months. We have to get ready. I've got to get this place, this house, this barn, everything looking spectacular, everything cleaned up, all the junk piles from years of projects, they have to go. In order for me to do that though, a lot of that stuff, I really need to get this space set up the way it was intended to be used, how we need it. I mean, I have a big shop here. I mean, this is a big, beautiful space. And a lot of times when I get big spaces, they get squandered. And we've done a ton of videos on this subject over the years, but every time we do, we make things a little bit better, a little bit easier to work. And that's kind of just what we're about, constantly trying to improve. Now this isn't as bad as it looks, and I've already cleaned up quite a bit. I couldn't even walk around this bench earlier. It's bad. A lot of that, you know, it's a cold shop. We do have the wood stove on the one end. I can actually finally feel a little bit of heat this way. It's been running for about 5 hours. Part of the issue here is we definitely need to get it insulated. We definitely need to get it finished off, because if you have a workspace where you're not comfortable working in it, it's really hard to get the motivation to do much of anything in that space. And that's kind of where I find myself quite often, is if it's too messy, if it's too cold, or if the rain's just beating down on the roof so bad I can't run the camera and do anything. Now those really aren't complaints. Those are more, a lot of that is things that I can control, that I can make better. And really that's what it's all about. If you can, pretty much goes for anything in life or your work or anything, if you can make it better, do what you can to make it better. A lot of times we end up just going with the status quo of what's always worked or what's comfortable, or we don't feel like screwing around with this or that. But I'm trying to get better about not being that guy. You guys see where I'll do things and 6 months later we'll totally change it around. I'm at a point with a lot of stuff to where if it's not working and it's not doing what I need it to do, instead of just living with it and carrying on, well, I change it. I make it better. It's like the forge wall downstairs. When I built that first blacksmith shop inside the barn and we had that one narrow area, I walled off, said, oh, this will be great. This will be a ton of room. Then all of a sudden it starts filling up. It's like, well, this really isn't working out. It's screwing with my flow of work. I need to do something. So those walls came down. We built one across, and now we have a big, beautiful blacksmith shop. And which honestly, I have not fired that forge up probably since the last time there was a blacksmithing video on this channel. It's been probably last spring, maybe before. So it's been a while. But already getting a little bit cleaned up in here, getting some of the floors swept. I actually have some mats to put down on the floor, which is going to be awful nice for walking, and just keeping the sawdust from sifting through until the day, that glorious day when I can insulate the whole floor and all that good stuff. But it's always a work in progress. I told you guys in the last video, sometimes you're just going to change things up. Sometimes you're never going to be done with a project. And I guess the day comes when you tell yourself that's good enough. Well, maybe it's time to hang up the tool belt and move along. But like I said in the last one, I'd like to have a thought process in my head all the time, something that my mind is working on, like a dog chewing on a bone. You're always working at it. You're always trying to get to the marrow. And I don't always succeed in doing that, but that's usually what we're striving for. And then, you know, you wear yourself out, you get burnout, and then you go months where it's hard to get the motivation or things like that. We're all subject to that kind of thing. Everybody in this world is subject to that kind of thing. But so tonight we're going to work on trying to get this set up. I have cabinet work that needs to be done for the house. I have cabinet work for that office and workout room that's on the other side of that window. I have a lot of stuff I need to do. All these little projects that I've been planning and talking about on camera for the last couple of years that we're going to do it once we get this barn built. Well, it's really that time to where it kind of has to happen. We're adding on. Obviously, I don't have the money in the bank for the addition, so I have to start doing that stuff so we can appraise high enough for them evil bank mortgages to refinance a little bit, but our interest rate right now is pretty high the way we have it, so doing the math, working everything out, we'll actually end up saving money in the long run, quite a bit of money doing what we're about to do. So anyway, stay tuned. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you on the other side of it. Hey, we're making some progress at least. Probably wouldn't be so cold up here if I had the more than the subfloor down. But every little bit we do, it gets a little better. It's not too bad. I've got a bunch of these floor mats that we took out of the workout room. That was kind of keeping the cold air quite a bit from coming up from below. Now we've got the laminate put down and some floor insulation in. Gets a little better. It's funny how quick it really goes once you get into the rhythm of getting stuff cleaned up. It goes quicker and quicker. And these will settle out. They actually sweep off real nice, and they'll settle out as we use them, or as we walk on them and all that good stuff. This is a nice big one here. Probably going to get my ass beat for this, but it's good for you. Hello.
Hello.
Looking a little better?
There's no crap right here.
Listen, boy. Camera's running.
Camera's right there.
Oh, there's another one right there. Yeah, take that. That's okay. I think we're just going to move this over here. We'll kind of tilt it a little bit. So this looking good?
Yeah.
Getting better. All right, you ready?
It's right here. Where do you want me to?
Yeah, just get on that end. It's kind of awkward to move along. All right.
Just right over.
Oh, keep backing up towards the other camera there.
Is that one of my pulleys that I bought?
Yep. Oh, just enough room.
Just barely.
Just barely, like a glove. Oh, you made it. Okay, kind of turn it a little bit.
This?
Yep, that'll work.
What is this, your planer table?
Yeah, actually, let's swing it a little. Move it over. Right there. Cool. Not my favorite spot, but until this crap's out of here, that's At least it leaves this side free. Wow, look at that mess.
Looks like some of your black walnut is taking a few cracks.
Yeah, I kind of wanted it to do that. Thank you.
Yeah. Probably most seat that this wood sweep's ever put out.
Well, it did pretty good in the house. Let me turn this off.
Oh, is that it?
Is that it?
Yeah.
What do you mean, is that it?
Well, this is all we need.
You know how much mess you have in here to clean up? Look at this mess you made. Where are you going?
I made a bet with my bus driver, says I have to watch the Super Bowl.
You're watching the Super Bowl?
Yep. She made a bet with me that I have to buy her a candy bar
If you don't watch the Super Bowl.
if her team wins. So.
Your servitude to me is much more important than that Super Bowl. All right, go have fun. Thank you for the help.
Yep. I wasn't gonna watch it, but she made a bet. So.
Jerk. The big issue I have with this workbench is when I did this, I made this just out of some green scrap 2x material I had left over from building the barn. And the problem with it being on the outfeed side of the table saw, if you can't guess, is the way these boards are on here, you get ridges, the boards hit and they catch as you're trying to saw longer material. Real pain in the ass. Now we've done this before here on some benches down below where I'd like to put FRP board on my workbench tops, and I have a piece here. We'll see if it'll cover it. I've got part of it cut, which probably was dumb, but that FRP board gives you a beautifully smooth, cleanable surface to be able to pretty much be able to, your long rip, stuff like that, you can slide material around easily. It just makes a really beautiful surface if you use the back side, obviously not the dimpled side. But you use the back side on there, and it's just nice. You can clean it, you get wood glue on it, it cleans off real easily. All that good stuff. Let's see if this will cover it. My downfall is this stuff is very wobbly to work with. Just about right. Yeah, we can make that work. So all I do is I just put a couple nails in it in the corner, a couple down the side, nothing in the middle because I don't want any nail heads catching. But it works out real nice. All right, let's take you on a little quick walk around here. So you guys saw what we had before. This is quite a bit better than it was. Actually move around in here. We'll see how long it lasts. I give it a week, 2 weeks at the most. And everybody's got to have a junk corner somewhere. So We got to do some shelves and stuff in here, get that stuff squared away. I got a lot of trim left over from the house, the old stuff we've torn out. Got to find a home for that. I don't want to burn that because it's good boards. Just pop the nails out of it, reuse them somewhere. So we definitely have to do something down there on that side. Definitely have to do something with all that junk. But we are a lot better off than what we were. So that covering right there on the workbench, like I said, it's super smooth. Boards slide on it really nicely. It just makes the job a lot nicer. So that was my big problem. You can see where we have these boards right here. You know, they just, they're not even on top, so when you're trying to rip boards down, they catch on stuff. Now this bench was only supposed to be a temporary bench. And this was just something I threw together to get us through. Someday I'd like to make a nice, nice proper carpenter's bench, but to be honest with you, this thing is very functional. As an outfeed table, that covering on it, it's going to be absolutely perfect. It's solid, it's sturdy, it's got a good thick top on it. So it works just fine. But always room for improvement. You can always do better. Got to get the planer set up, all that good stuff. But right now, I think for tonight, I think we're in a really good spot. And I'll tell you, I had a birthday recently, and my son, that big Sasquatch looking kid that popped in earlier, got me this beautiful Milwaukee 12-volt jigsaw. I love it, absolutely love it. I've always really liked my cordless DeWalt jigsaw because it's just such a handy tool to have. But I tell you what, this battery, I've been on the same battery for the last 2 videos. I made a lot of cuts with it, and we're still at half battery life there. That's pretty good. Can't beat that. It's heavy built too. I was actually quite impressed. I've come to become a very big fan of Milwaukee tools. I use them for work, and I've swapped all my personal tools from DeWalt over to them here. You guys have heard me bitch and complain about the DeWalts. The quality's not what it used to be. But boy, I'm really liking these. These are pricey, but yeah, if you're using them every day and you're making money with them, yeah, you might as well spend a little bit, get some good quality stuff. Of course, you know, Rigid makes really good stuff too. I don't know much about the Porter cable. Makita's always a good choice. I just know I'm just not a fan of my DeWalts anymore. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. With that, we're going to call it a night. I'm going to go in, going to edit this thing, maybe eat a little dinner, beg for special favors from the boss lady, go to bed disappointed, and I'll see you guys on the next one.